Alright guys, welcome to the Blue February Cup number 2. We have already crowned our PC champions. Now we've got a whole new raft of contenders for your perusal. My name is Peter Canavan, joined by Jesper Dietliskunst for today's competition. Dietlis, how you doing?
Well, I'm still doing great, Peter. I am ready for some Modern Combat 5 action. I'm here with you. I have some tea. And you know what? Life couldn't be better.
Well, we'll have plenty of casualties today. But none of our players are casual, they're all professionals. Who have we got on the menu for our Carnival of Carnal Delights?
Well, as you can see on the top of the scoreboard, sorry, not scoreboard, the bracket on your screen, we have Roxas from Japan, followed by Guns for Hire from America, and they're going up against Volunteer from Iraq, I believe. Yes, it will be Iraq. Below them it's Re-Evolutions versus ARNG. ARNG representing Mexico. Gamuso will go straight into the quarterfinal, and so will Frankenstein, representing respectively the US and France. And below them it is Devastate versus Oblivious Allies. Devastate representing Hungary. To round out today's competition, we have Vida Mala XZT from America versus Let for Life OP from Japan as well. And then number 1 going straight into the quarterfinal. And number 1 are obviously going to be from Iraq as well.
I can see Yusei, the chat's already excited for Gamuso. We'll do our best, Yusei, to get that Gamuso match. As we said, we got a decent amount of good teams here today. You know, Frankenstein, very big name. Of course, number 1 down the bottom, Gamuso, and Roxas, some real big power players in today's competition. So our feature match for the first round is going to be Devastate versus Oblivious Allies. Of course, we'll be getting into some of those prime matches in the quarterfinals and semi-finals, of course. For now though, guys, our first giveaway will begin. Dietlis, can you tell the fine folks about all the good stuff they can be receiving?
Well, you can get credits, I believe.
Yes, 300 of them. Dietlis has been struck dead.
You're putting me kind of a spot. I've only had to do these giveaways once, Peter, so it's not like I remember how to do it.
You've been here every time.
Well, I don't know what you win from them. I know how you do them, but I've never really thought about the prizes.
Oh man, is this the day when we find out that Dietlis never won a competition in his whole life?
Well, not a Modern Combat 5 competition, no.
Well, that's the greatest competition of all, apart from, of course, the thrill of esports competition, which is, you know, a step up. I think we are going to have to wait a little bit before our first round to get here. So with that in mind, if any of you guys would like to join us for a brief sojourn onto the Battle Royale battlefield. Ooh, just let me make sure everything's working alright. Yep, there we go. Then please do so. We will probably have to drop out of this to get into our first ESL game, but either way around it, come one, come all, and we can see what we can see.
Ooh, Peter, are you sure you're gonna do well today? Or are you gonna fall?
Well, fortunately I don't... Being that we're on iOS today, which of course all of our custom games and Battle Royale games will be on iOS, it does mean that I don't have to worry about finding you on the battlefield.
That's true, that's true. Now you don't have to worry about me.
But what we do have to worry about is paying tribute.
No.
I'm drawn inexorably towards.
Don't do it.
The dealer's jet. My legs betray me, sir. I can do none but follow their dark commands.
Oh, Peter, I want to hit you. Okay, we're getting a different matchup for today, guys. We already have a code. It's gonna be Vida Mata XZT versus Let for Life OP.
Well, in that case, forget this whole Battle Royale nonsense because we've got ESL business to attend to. So we've got our passkey. That is quite the name. Hopefully, well, I think Vida Mela. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what that could mean. Maybe some of you guys in the chat can help us out. Led for Life OP. Gosh.
Well, I sure don't know, Peter. I sure don't know.
Perhaps we'll find out through their play on the battlefield. .ra is welcome to the stream. Thank you for your kind thoughts to ask how everyone is doing today. I hope that we are all having a wonderful evening, morning, day, or night, wherever you happen to be on the planet. I think we are going to get our first ESL game started in just a second. Looks like the teams are on the correct sides. So we'll have to reset it a little bit. Do a bit of checking in on our team. So Vida Mala are our number 7 seed from the USA. Led for Life are... Oh, I don't see teams from Korea very often, but that's where they're from.
Oh yeah, that's my mistake, guys. Sorry, I said that they were from Japan. Obviously, it's the South Korea.
It does look at, like, from the size of flags that we've got there, it does look relatively similar.
Yeah, that's the problem. Also, I keep mistaking New Zealand for Australia as well.
Ooh, that's a mistake that you might want to try and avoid. I imagine that they're relatively touchy about it.
I have figured out the difference now, Peter.
What is the difference?
There's more stars on the Australian flag than the one on the New Zealand flag, and the stars are different. I think the stars on the one on the New Zealand flag, they're I think they're white, no, blue and red. I think.
Let's move on.
Yes.
So. No teams from New Zealand here, merely our first contenders from Korea, the Republic of. Relatively, well, so based on the seeding of these teams, this should be a relatively even match. One of the two teams here will go on to face against the team number 1, our number 2 seed here today. So, as is always the way, our lower seeded teams do get a little bit of the short end of the stick, but at least they get to, you know, try their might against one of the best teams early on in the tournament.
Well, they also get to play each other, so obviously, if you play against a team as good as yourself, then you are able to just slowly rank up and become better because you, well, get to experience what flaws you have, and then you can start to work on that. Right here, Kami just spraying his opponents down with that Balsk.
Yeah, some really nice play out of individual members of both sides. So Kami on the blue side, Vida Mala doing extremely well. And over the other side, Snore and Spirit, who just about survived that last exchange for the Led for Life team with a very similar scoreline. Well, Kami will make a mess of everything with a well-placed grenade to push Vida Mala ahead.
Man, Kami is putting in the work here. Getting 9 kills. Making sure to put that boss to good work and leading his team. Now 2 kills in the lead for VML. Not the biggest, but it's something for them.
So I've done a quick Google Translate, and apparently Vida Mala means bad life. I guess that kind of makes sense. So far though, things looking pretty good, particularly because of Kami's exceptional work on the recon. Doing some really good flanking here that's just making it impossible for Led to put them down.
VML starting to run away with it, counterfeit, Led for Life. Behind by 10 kills, actually make that 11. And VML, they are looking like the better team here, looking like they will get the longer end of the stick. Now obviously it is a best of 3, so it's not over yet. And they will have to win yet another game on Streets, or if a game 2 is won by Led for Life, well, then Museum.
Our admins for today are Soldier Girl and Danny W. So if you catch them in chat, please do say hi. Our ESL admins working hard behind the scenes, as always, to make sure the tournament itself goes ahead. Of course, as Dylan said, this is official ESL competition, so this will advance one team or the other up and ahead to face off against number one to potentially climb through the ranks. I mean, in our last competition, we did have a new team take down the number 2 seed, so just being high ranked isn't a guarantee you'll see the later stages of the tournament.
No, that's true. You still have to be better than your opponents, and sometimes that is not always what we see from those higher seeded teams. But this time around for VML, we must say that they definitely are the higher seeded team, and they are much better than their opponents. VML number 7, led for life, number 10 in today's competition.
Pretty convincing first win for the Bad Life, having a good old time on the construction site, and will advance with a clear 20-point win over our Korean representatives. So, we shall have to see how VML do. Certainly, if you're going to be a team that's going to advance forward and take down a much higher seeded team in the next round of competition, you should be looking to dominate your first round.
That's true, and dominate did VML. Now moving on to our next map. That is going to be Streets, of course. So VML, like on construction site, can look to just wreak havoc upon their opponents because Streets, very good for fast action.
We'll be looking out for Kami's performance in the next round. But for now, guys, do remember that Twitch giveaway, twitch.tv/modern combat. Let me just get that out across the place. So we shall take a brief break, and when we return, our ESL competition will continue. Gentle friends, one and all, welcome back to the battlefield. Led for Life OP had a pretty tough game 1. We'll see if the bad life continues for them into game number 2. Vidamarla winning out by 20. Will they repeat the performance, or their fortunes be stymied in our second game of the day?
Led for Life starting out well, picking up 2 kills right here. That we know that they love that lead, that it's part of their life, and they think it's OP. So I'm sure that they are ready to pump some lead into their opponents.
Yeah, certainly starting out this second game pretty convincingly. Exactly what we like to see from a team that, who are relatively evenly ranked with Vidamarla. They've just taken control of the insides of the streets, a very powerful strategy, especially when you're deploying multiple heavies to clean up in close quarters.
Talking about close quarters here on the streets, there is one big settlement in the middle, which teams they tend to fight around and try to gain control of. For now, Led for Life, they have control over that main settlement. But VML, they're trying their darndest to fight back. It's just not working, and they are behind by 5 kills because of it.
Hyper's proven to be crucial for the Led team, going in and just insta-giving everybody who comes across them. Does get caught up by Kami, the MVP of the previous round. Actually has struggled a lot more in this game. I think Led for Life possibly are trying to hunt down Kami and put them down before they can start getting going once again.
Well, that is usually a very good strategy, to go for your opponent's strongest member and just make sure that he can't do anything in this game compared to the last.
Of course, the downside to that is you might just have that person turn out to be willing and able to absorb that punishment and turn it back upon you, but for now, it's looking like Hyper R in particular is performing out of their mind for the Led for Life team. We'll see if that continues onwards, but right now it's looking like we could be looking at a 3-game series.
Led for Life are certainly doing their best to try and pull this game back from that 1-game deficit that they currently are in. VML, however, they want to end this game and they're trying their hardest to come back, making it just a 2-kill lead for Led for Life. So they're not giving up at all.
Still very, very close as we cross the halfway mark, kill-wise, of course, for both teams. We're going to start seeing those kill streaks coming in, but Vidamarla come in from behind. They start cutting into Led for Life, take over that central building for themselves, and are now deploying their own heavies to the field.
The game is far from over, and VML actually, they have a lead now, Counterfeit. So, far from over, as said. Now, Led for Life falling a bit behind.
4 minutes left on the clock. Led for Life. It's always going to be tough when you're behind a game, when you have the lead, but that lead is then taken away from you. Going to put the strain on the team, but Snore and Spirit, remember from last time round, doing pretty well for themselves, but it's all on Hyper's performance now. Had started absorbing more deaths, but able to work with their team to provide enough of a distraction to let Hyper do their work.
Hyper with those 12 kills and 32 accuracy. Definitely leading Led this time around. Both teams are about to reach that 40 kill mark. Both teams reaching it the moment I speak. And now VML 42, 43. They are dangerously close. Led for Life, they cannot allow this to happen.
This time around for VML, Ixial doing a very good job with the heavy, the 9 to 5, the full day of work for VML to keep themselves in control of this second game, and I think they've done it. That last exchange puts them firmly ahead. One more kill is going to do it. One more kill is sought, but evaded for a second. Let's see if Led for Life can somehow pull this off.
Will not be able to do so. They were close, just got 3 kills in a quick succession, but ultimately VML, they make it an explosive ending. They pull themselves back from quite a big deficit, and they say, okay guys, we will actually take this victory, even though we put up quite a good performance in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, Led for Life really felt like they grew from game 1 to game 2 a heck of a lot closer. Honestly, it could have easily gone either way. Big shout out, of course, to Hyper, who I believe, was the best performing individual player on that game. So Left 4 Life, almost, but almost not good enough to keep them in the competition. They will have to take a knee. Hopefully we'll see them back here again another week, while Vida Mala then wants to go on to face number 1 in the quarterfinals. So guys, we will keep our Twitch giveaway going for the time being. Hashtag RO16 onto twitch.tv/ModOnCombat. For now though, let's get you guys a game to play during the break, so that once we get set up for our next ESL encounter, you won't be waiting around for too long.
You are such a nice guy, Peter. Always thinking about our viewers and making sure that they will not be bored.
Well, it is what I'm here for. Oop, I think I might have had a little client bug there, so give me just a second. And we'll be right back into things. Aldo Vasquez, which player, the player with the lava-looking weapon, moves so fast? I imagine it could be a combination of classes and cores. I'm not sure. Right, let's get this custom game set up. So, Daedalus, what are you thinking? Free for all, team deathmatch?
Well, I always enjoy a free for all.
All right, which map do you feel like? Streets, rooftops, construction sites, canals, scramble, museum, vantage, conversion.
I always like scramble.
Who doesn't like a delicious scramble, eh?
I think scramble is my favorite map.
That's a very good one. You see a good variety of different kinds of plays. So as always, guys, we play under a variation on the ESL rules. Tier 7 and below weapons, Tier 3 and below armor. Please come and join one and all. And you can show off your skills on stream while we wait for our next ESL official game to get started. So, Dealers, if you're a coach, you know, and you're scouting for the next hotness when it comes to a player playing one of these streams.
Do I have to be a coach?
In this scenario.
But couldn't I just be like an analyst?
Sure.
Okay.
So if you're an analyst in this situation, you're looking for the upcoming player.
You know what? Coach sounds better.
I feel like you're purposely derailing. Monsieur. Anyway, if you're looking for a player and you say, you know, you're in these free-for-alls, you know, what's the thing that to you would make a player stand out? Is it just number of kills, or are you looking for, you know, particular ways someone might get the job done, or is it just about the sheer amount of teabagging they can throw into a single session?
I would probably look for explosiveness and movement to see if you are if you're able to kill someone while still staying rapid on your feet and then get away without being caught. I think that would be the quality I would look for in a player, considering how MC5 is a lot about whether or not you can kill someone and then still be able to contribute afterwards. Because you don't want to stand still, kill someone and then die.
That's true.
Well, I tend to say true things.
You do? I speak only lies. Or do I?
Does not surprise me at all. You speak in tongues.
Well, it's probably the best way to speak.
In tongues?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, you know, we've got a lot of people here from all over the world, so hopefully it's going to be one of those things where I end up accidentally speaking someone's language.
Well, whoa.
Whoa.
I just forgot to tell Soldier Girl the results. No, I'm doing it.
Alright. Well, while we let Soldier Girl and Danny W, our admin today, sort everything out. We'll let you guys entertain our lovely viewers on the stream. And we shall return in 7 minutes or less with, hopefully, our next ESL competition. But if not, then we'll find some other way to keep you amused. See you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back, gentle friends one and all. I believe we'll get kicked out of this lobby in a second. There we go. And we can pick things up once again. I believe that we haven't got a current ESL match to attend to. So with that in mind, D-list, I think you know what's coming.
Battle Royale? I think.
Will of course!
Oh, nice!
So, being that
Self-high five.
Being that neither of us are game loss developers, I feel like we're in the perfect position to be able to speculate about gameplay features on stream. So,
We are.
sure,
Alright.
why not? That's not irresponsible anyway.
Alright.
So, one of the things which has been added in for the Battle Royale mode are missions. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got no idea what a mission might entail. And I was wondering if you might have any thoughts as to what would make a logical kind of mission.
Well, you could always go for the standard ones with get 10 headshots a day, get 10 kills.
Shoot
Stuff
the
like that?
dealer's plane in the butt 10 times.
No, well, like get kills with snipers, get kills with like SMGs, LMGs, stuff like that. Very standard.
I guess so. I hope it's something a little bit more goofy.
If you're hoping for people to shoot the dealer's butt or the dealer's train, then I hope they'll shoot Peter pound.
It seems like a big escalation from an inanimate object to my good self.
No, well, you started it.
Well, I never.
You did. Don't lie to me, Peter. You know you did.
I hope you guys are here to hear this outrageous thing. Is there someone up on the roof?
Maybe.
Well, let's follow them upstairs. I don't know if they saw us. Yes, they did.
Are you about to die, Peter?
Quite possibly. Let's pump out my speed boost.
Why would it not surprise me if you were?
Oh, because I've just been mortally wounded.
I think it's just because you usually die very fast.
Oh man! Yeah, I kind of messed up my aiming there. Hey guys! Hey Delzy, hey The Cheetah Gaming, Samurai Proboss, Cyber MC5, as well as our good friend and companion Hero Gaming Salmon. Riz DMX Gaming, you're not a fan of the Battle Royale? Well, we'll run a couple of these, then we'll go back to doing the more traditional games. Challenges. No active challenges as of yet. Oh boy, I want to get me that afro. That looks pretty sweet.
Well, I think you could rock an afro if you wanted to,
Yeah.
Peter. Yeah. I don't see why not.
Well, I mean, I can come up with reasons.
I can imagine you with an afro.
Well, you'd be the first person.
I think you'd be as cool as
what?
what's this? No, I was about to say the guy from the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Which one's that?
Like the one he got the most famous of. Oh, we have a code.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. I'm thinking of Pulp Fiction, and then I'm thinking of Samuel L. Jackson.
Ah, well, that's interesting comparison. I mean, a lot of people do compare us a lot of the time.
They do. Interesting.
Well, in good news for you Gamuzo and Re-Evolutions fans, we are going to have a match between the two.
Oh, we are?
We are. Arranged by our wonderful admin today. We make sure to bring you only the finest of ESL matches, because we know that you people watching today are of distinct taste and only would accept the very best ESL competition that we have to give you.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Re-Evolutions versus Gamuso. We all know that Gamuso They are a team that have recently gotten into the MC5 scene, but Re-Evolutions also one of the best Japanese squads that we have in the MC5 iOS scene. So obviously these guys are to be respected as well as Gamuso.
Notable as well that they're on the same side of the bracket as Roxas. Gamuso made it pretty far through last time's competition, losing out to Roxas in the last round and beating out Score Gaming and Kill or Die on their way there. For Re-Evolutions, they also lost to Roxas in the previous time that they played, but they beat out Gamuso on their way to that final challenge. So only one of these two will go on to presumably face up against Gamuso later on in the bracket. Which shall it be? Please show your support in the chat for your favourite team, or if you don't like a team, then feel free to say slightly rude things about them. We will of course be starting up in a second with Yusei, MIT, Kyo, Axis and all the rest. So stay tuned guys, and we'll be getting things kicked off in just a few moments more. Welcome back, gentle friends. iOS Blue February Cup number 2 continues as we get into our first major encounter of the day, our quarter-finals between the Re-Evolutions and the Gamuso, representing Japan and the USA respectively.
And this is going to be one hell of a series counterfeit. Gamuso and Re-Evolutions, two legendary teams in the iOS scene of Modern Combat 5, and two teams that know what they're doing.
As I pointed out just before we started, Gamuso have done an enormous amount in the scene in a short amount of time, made up of multiple former OMG members, as well as MIT, who spent some time on the Severe lineup. So a lot of talent in their roster. And Gamuso starting out this first game of the potential 3 very strongly.
Finding a 5-kill lead for themselves, Re-Evolutions falling a bit behind right here. That's not what I was expecting from Re-Evolutions. I was expecting a very close game between these two lineups, but 1 minute in, it is Gamuso with a 6-kill lead.
A very strong start to things. Let's check in. So it is Canada's and JRD doing the lion's share of the work, using the Cog V that's become extremely popular in ESL competition. Those Axis, those 3 grenades, proving to be crucial when so many people are killing, dying, respawning. It just means the entire map is filled up with an almost constant stream of explosions.
That's true. Now, I'm surprised to see the COG-V also go into competition in the iOS scene, because my theory was that in the PC Cups, it's much easier to aim because you do have that mouse to go with. Obviously, the guys on the iOS scene also very good at aiming, but usually you don't see them aim down sights, which is exactly what the COG-V is very good at. So usually you just see people run the busk to try and go for those hip fire rotations.
And hip fire headshots can get the job done, as Re-Evolutions win out that last tree pretty handily. Let's check in and see who the players to watch are. So Zhangji. Everyone's got the same icons, it's very confusing. I think is player number 1. There we go. 4 and 4 so far, so not necessarily a breakout as of yet. In fact, none of the Re-Evolution squad is, and they'll need to find a breakout star if they're going to recover this game 1.
They need to find someone who can carry the lead here to begin with. On the side of Gamuso, Counterfeit, can we check in who is in the forefront, who is pulling in the work? It is going to be Canada. 7 kills on his own and 2 deaths. That's a nice score, something you can be proud of. Something you can say, that is something my family would love to see. He makes his family proud. It's, how would you say it in Mulan? It's, you make the legacy of my family proud?
I haven't seen that movie for a while. But I'm fully prepared to believe that Gamuso's Canada... I'm not basing this on any actual evidence, but I'm just going on a feeling that Canada watches Mulan every day in order to psych themselves up for their ESL competition.
Honor will come to the family of Canada because he's doing so well. I think that's the quote from Mulan. Now, 12 kills in the lead. Canada looking for yet another kill. Will he be able to find it? He's aiming, he's shooting. Will he? He will indeed be able to find. Access goes down. Airstrike being available and being deployed by Re-Evolutions. But for Gamuso, still so far ahead with only 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go.
A bold ploy to send out Re-Evolutions members on to the side to try and find some kills, but Re-Evolutions falling so darn far behind. Seeing a lot of Gamuso fans in the chat, and certainly their performance is one worthy of admiration in this first quarterfinal game.
Re-Evolutions, however, are looking like a team that will have to think ahead to game 1 on Scramble. If they're able to win that one, they're going to force it to Rooftops. I would love to see a game 3 between these two guys. I'm sure Re-Evolutions will be able to make a comeback in game 2 and get us to Rooftops. Well, also because I would love to see Rooftops. I don't think we see that map often enough.
True enough, and it's a very different style of play, as you said. Potentially a chance for Re-Evolutions to get back in. So far, though, it's all been about Gamuso, which, as we said right back at the beginning, has got to be pretty satisfying for the American squad, considering that they are playing against a team that knocked them out previously, and just ended one of their hopes of glory. Right now, Gamuso riding high off Canada's performance, but JRD and Yusei both putting in work as well.
They're here for revenge. They want to win this map so that they can say, Revolutions, we've also knocked you out before. Gamuso now 44 kills, 1 minute and 35 seconds left to go. They don't need that. They're ready to end right here and right now. Airstrike G being deployed by Re-Evolutions, but they are so far behind that it really doesn't matter at this point. Canada finds 2 kills with that airstrike, pushing Gamuso even further to the victory line.
Shinji doing some decent work on the heavy, but yes, not remotely enough to try and equalize this first game. So, a surprising result to have that be so thoroughly one-way inclined. I guess the Gamuso players must have heard the cheers emanating from the audience, and it buoyed them to new heights.
But for Re-Evolutions and Gamuso, we expected a close matchup. That's not exactly what we got in game 1, but obviously it's the best of 3 series, so Re-Evolutions, they have a chance at making their comeback in game 2. And I'm sure they're going to be looking at that, because this lineup, we know, are strong and can make that comeback happen.
We should be keeping our eyes out for Shanji. On the side of Revolutions, of course, more fine play from Canada from Gamuzo. For now though guys, keep your entries coming in over on our Twitch platform, and we shall return for the next of our fantastic quarterfinal encounters after the break. Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. Gamuzo now over in the blue, Revolutions over in the red. A pretty convincing first round win for Gamuzo means this series could be a lot less close than we'd initially anticipated.
We expected Re-Evolutions and Gamuzo to go down to the wire, to the very last kill kind of it, but Gamuzo, they dominated game 1. Re-Evolutions, they looked like a bottom tier team. Now here on this side, here on Scramble, Re-Evolutions certainly will look to pull it back. This is a very sniper heavy map, so maybe they're able to snap some good kills from afar.
Certainly can be one of the styles of players you mentioned. Scramble lending itself to potentially some very distinct styles of approach depending on where the fighting takes place. So if we bring up the map, we can see one of the more common styles, which is in play here, is one team taking up a very defensive position in the far top left hand corner. As it is Revolutions, though, doing this when they're the team that's behind means that Gamuzo can just wait for them to emerge from their defenses.
One thing to also note is that with Gamuzo being ahead by 3 kills, they can afford to take these trades to try and see if they can land some cheeky shots, some picks against Re-Evolutions, which they currently are doing, and Re-Evolutions, they are losing out on those trades. They're not able to land those picks.
MIT does get taken out by Axis though. A nice sneaky pick off. Let's check in with Zhanji. Still doing some real nice stuff on the assault class. We'll be able to try and start to get some flanking going for Revolutions. And just as you said, Dooless, we'll try and bring the series to a third game. Avoid having history repeat itself. Losing out by 22 in the last game. Gotta be pretty tough to deal with.
Certainly will be. Now Re-Evolutions, they are looking like a team who are not too scared about having to face Gamuzo once again here on game 2, here on Scramble. Because man, they are keeping up with Gamuzo thus far.
Extremely even as we see both teams with those recon choppers up in the sky. Just even a few extra moments of information can be invaluable. Spot a flank coming, spot your teammate just about to get killed, and get there just in time to turn the tides.
Gamuzo, 18 kills, make that 20 as Rallo and JRD, they find some more kills, and oh, even more kills come in. Re-Evolutions, I said just a moment ago, they were keeping up against Gamuzo, that they were not looking like a team that were too pushed back after game 1, and now they're starting to look like a team who are falling further and further behind.
And a big part of that was that amazing run of kills from MIT. I think they actually ended up losing count of how many they took out with that last set of bombing runs, just tearing apart the Re-Evolution squadron. This second game, which looked like it had the potential to be an even encounter, is threatening to be carried away on a tide of fantastic plays from Gamuzo.
Re-Evolutions are looking scarred in this series, are looking like a team that will have a hard time going into the next weekly tournament kind of fit, just because Gamuzo looking so strong today.
Canada, though, not performing in the same strength as they were before. It's actually MIT who stepped forward for the squad, along with JRD, who was strong in both games. Those kill streaks being added onto the individual player skill, and JRD threading the needle there to find more Re-Evolutions players and put them in the ground. 42 to 33. Re-Evolutions about to fall here against Gamuzo, meaning that Gamuzo, they will move into the semi-final, where they will most likely face Roxas, who are currently battling it out in the top quarterfinal. Frankenstein have won the quarterfinal just below, so Gamuzo are just the second team to reach that the semi-final stage. It's looking like Gamuzo have got this one all locked up, locked down. I think they're going to end out with a very similar score to last time round. So showing consistency of execution Re-evolutions only take one more point than they did previously, and Gamuzo set themselves up for a very strong tournament run.
Could this be the day where we see Gamuzo go all the way? They're gonna have to go through another Japanese squad in Roxas. Most likely in that second semifinal, obviously Guns for Hire could take down Roxas, but Roxas, they are the favorite to win this entire tournament.
So with that in mind, and our acknowledgements over to JRD and MIT for their performance in that last game, and for Canada in the game before, we'll definitely be keeping a close eye out for Gamuzo as they make their way through the tournament. For now though, guys, we need your help. We need you to join in our break game to give us something to show to the fine people on the stream. The wonderful idea that Hacksaw Hunter, I do apologise, had quite a while back has worked out pretty well to make sure you guys always have something to do, even if our ESL games are currently being set up. So let's see, team battle. Let's go for conversion. We don't do that very often.
Yeah. Well, we could also go for rooftops. I'd love to see a rooftop. I haven't seen that in ages.
Well, it's too late now.
Okay.
Too late.
Well, next time.
There won't be a next time.
Why not?
I don't know really. Hibana Gaming we'll do our best to stream number one. I think they're very likely to end up on stream, even if we don't go out of our way to stream them, because they are our number 2 seed. I imagine that we'll take whichever next game it comes up, but I think at this point it's quite likely there's going to be a lot of games in progress, which is why I'm even setting up this whole break game in the first place. You're right there, Heedless.
Yeah, sorry, I just accidentally pushed my keyboard. But I'm alright, I'm alive, I am alive. Don't you worry, Peter, don't you worry. I will not leave you.
Well, thank you. So we need a few more bodies in here to make sure the game keeps going. Rolux, I have no idea what the Japanese player's name is, hopefully one of you guys do. Hibana Gaming, we live to serve, of course. We've got ... AE. But can we find another friend for them to even out this team battle? Because, dealers, without teammates, is it really a team battle?
No, it is indeed not, Peter. It is indeed not. You always want to have your teammates there in order to help you in a team battle.
Well, we're all teeming with excitement. Let's get things kicked off, and we'll catch you guys on the other side of the break. Welcome back, gentle friends, one and all. We are going to try and hold out for our Frankenstein versus #1 game, which should, well, potentially is going to be coming up in a little bit. That's assuming, of course, that the bracket does play out that way. Led for Life are currently playing #1, so, you know, surprises can happen. But either way around it, we'll be looking to bring you that semi-final as soon as we can. With that in mind, we are going to draw ourselves our Twitch giveaway winner, which will be MXDiaz12. MXDiaz12, please post your dog tag and your platform. We're going to jump into Battle Royale just to kill a little bit of time. But while we do, we're going to open up our next giveaway. You know what's coming, dealers. Can you figure out where it's going to be?
Oh, don't shoot my butt.
I found something that annoys you more than getting your plane shot in the butt. Excellent. Well, it's going to be over on Facebook. Hashtag quarter into the Facebook comments. Facebook.com/Modern Combat. Hibana Gaming. Let's see. Yes, well, I imagine we should be, as we said, we were holding out for the Frankenstein versus presumably #1 game, which will be coming up shortly. So all of your wishes are already granted. You don't even have to ask. MXDS12, thank you for your dog tag and platform. Let's jump onto the battlefield. I don't know if this particular battlefield has been named, but I wonder if we should name it.
Let's call it, I'm actually not sure. What do you want to call it?
Well, let's consider. So, I mean, I feel like you could either give it a name that reflects a real place, which I can't, I don't know actually.
We could call it the realm of Counterfeiterio.
That seems a little self-serving, but I've never really been against that.
You literally named a plane after me, mate.
Oh, that's not self-serving.
No, but it's self-serving towards me. Or, well, it's nice towards me, rather. Peter, hit him. Why are you shooting the tree?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Please don't ever shoot a tree again.
Hey man, you don't know my history with trees.
Well, have trees ever hurt you?
Well, you never know. They're always thinking about it. Oh man.
Hey Peter, shoot him in the butt, shoot him in the toe, shoot him in, where does it hurt to be shot? I've never been shot before. Have you ever been shot? I know you tried some stuff in your lifetime, Peter. Have you ever been shot?
I can't say I have. I've never really been in a position to be, though I have been in some somewhat sketchy circumstances. Fortunately, none of them were quite that drastic.
Have you ever shot a pistol?
I haven't. I haven't got any particular. Well, I don't know. I think no, actually, no, that's not true. I fired a shotgun.
Oh damn!
On a clay pigeon shooting thing.
Oh,
it was not an anger.
Well, that was pretty badass.
Yeah, it was alright. It was an interesting experience. Like, I definitely would recommend it to anybody who might happen to find themselves in such a circumstance to invest in good courses on correct handling of weapons. It's very easy to get something like that wrong and give yourself an injury.
Yeah, always handle weapons with safety, of course. You don't want to end up in an accident. I've shot a rifle, if I remember correctly. I think it's like, I don't even think it's like a hunting rifle. It's just a plain old rifle. I did that when I was like 8 or 10 years old because I was in the Boy Scouts, and then we went. I don't know what you would call it, like for a competition. And well, one of the things you had to do was shoot a rifle.
I thought you were gonna be like, and one of the things we did in the Boy Scouts was we hunted for sport. Oh man, we're attracting a lot of attention. I don't know how we're not dead yet with this person so persistently shooting at us.
Well, they're not shooting. They're not shooting at us. They're shooting at you.
I feel like we're together in this thing.
We are.
Sure, why not? Where are they shooting us from? Like here? That would seem to make some sort of sense. Well, if they were here, they ain't here now.
Well, I don't want to be in on this. I'm not getting shot today.
Well, I don't think that was really on the table.
Well, you said we were getting shot.
Well, we're trying to avoid that if it's all possible.
You're getting shot.
Am I?
Yeah. Well, you're getting shot time and time again. Aren't you?
Oh, hello, we're being shot time and time again.
Again?
I'm really unclear as to where we're being shot from.
Yeah. You know what, Peter?
Oh,
If you look around, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him.
I'm not going to do any damage from this range at all.
Well, you're not really hitting either.
So I'm going to keep serpentining because we are out of basically all resources. Man, the map's gotten quite small while this is all going on. You need to find somebody who's not paying any attention to kill them. Because we're spending a lot of time being chased around by people who can't really see very well. So I think the problem here is we're against someone who's got a much, much longer range weapon. So I think we probably just need to try and hide out until the circle gets small enough that becomes less of an issue.
Now, don't take this wrong, Peter. Don't take it wrong, but okay. In general, when you're playing MC5 on an iOS, isn't the problem always that you're facing people with guns? Because you're much better on PC.
Oh, thank you for noticing. Well, I'm saying specifically long-range guns. I mean, certainly it's traditional wisdom that long-range weaponry is the superior choice on...
Nice, you just alerted him. Well, you also just screwed yourself over.
Apparently.
Okay, look at the circle, man. You're far away from it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be that far away.
Oh, sweet health packs. Alright. Yes, a little bit further. Well, I wanted to come and kill some people because I figured why not really. So we need to find a place to hole up. And... try to always make sure I'm moving a little bit while I'm zoomed in as well. Just so I don't... oh man, we're gonna have to move pretty quick. Oh, hello.
Do it, Peter. I believe in you. Turkey dinner and everything. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Wop! 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 Oh, there's 4 people left. 4 people left. 3 people left. 3 people left. Peter, you're not gonna hit anyone with a sniper. Never mind. You're gonna hit someone.
How does it feel to be wrong?
Stop standing still. Stop. Don't go out there. Don't go out there. Don't go into the circle. Nice. Peter, let's yeet that wheat. The circle is shrinking. Go, 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 go.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least you know where they are. Pop a pill, Peter.
Wait, where are they?
Inside the crates. Inside the crates. Inside the crates. Inside the crates. They're shooting you. You're dead. You're alive. What a beast. What an absolute unit.
Oh man, that's a shame, especially because they actually had a pretty lousy rifle. How do we get? Oh, we got. Oh man, we got to number 2. Man, I feel like we probably should have won that one.
Well, you stood still and you got confused, so stuff happens. I think you did fine, all things considering.
Yeah, cause especially considering I didn't spot where they were for ages, and so by all rights they should have killed me a bunch of times over. Hero Gaming is saying, thank you for your support. We did pretty well out of that.
Yeah, I am proud of you, man.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ah, right, so let's have a quick check in. Oh, hello. I think we level up. We did. He got to... What level are we at now? We are a technical sergeant. Excellent.
A technical sergeant.
Technically, we're a sergeant.
Interesting.
Well... let's see. We haven't received word on our next game, so we're running a battle royale, and if that doesn't...
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for codes. Don't you worry.
Alright, so we got to 2nd place last time, 1st place this time, then the next time, 0th place.
How will you do that?
I'll kill someone else in a different game.
Interesting.
Oh, hello. Well, not long to start this one. Alright, so where should we go, coach?
I will drop. I think you should drop at North Village.
Soul!
Because it's north.
It's also a village.
Well, we are village people.
Alright, so we need to get ourselves some kind of... Well, armor's nice. Should help us win out any pistol fights we get into. We probably don't want to have any other kind of fight. A grenade. Better than that. Wouldn't mind getting this. I probably don't want to go out into the main area because I imagine they're probably going to come across people who've actually picked up guns.
Obviously, be careful, Peter. You need to get to the 1st place, so take it slow and steady. No need to rush.
Well, that worked out pretty well. Someone else was doing their customizing in an unwise position. We shall not make the same mistake. We shall stand here, and that, therefore, hopefully, we shall see someone coming if they come up the stairs, rather than doing what they did, which was not pay any attention, and then end up dead.
We don't like when people end up dead.
Well, I think we do. Just, you know, it depends on the...
Well, we don't like when you end up dead. I prefer you alive.
Aw. That's so sweet of you to say.
Well, I only say it because it's you, man.
Well, who else would it be?
I don't know. Maybe a different commentator.
A more commentator. What?
Oh, we have a code. Have a code, Peter.
Well, in that case, we're just gonna have to leave the battlefield behind. Because we've got business to attend to. Ah, Cosimo, thank you for your support. It's technically a sergeant. Yes, when you customize... Does customizing actually freeze the screen? I thought it just... I have asked one of the changes for Battle Royale to be that it's easier to get out of your customization screen. It means, you know, I normally expect in that kind of situation that pressing anywhere but the required space should drop it, because that's the kind of thing someone would do if they were panicking. It's just like, you know, spam clicks all over the place. But I guess we'll see. Probably the movement controls actually still need to be on that screen as well. Let me might write that down, because I keep notes, guys, as to stuff to bring up to redo our community manager next meeting. So attachment screen, months screen, easy to exit, needs movement controls, which close the screen. There you go. I kind of feel that probably does the job. And yes, so Soldier Girl has found us our game. So what you guys were all asking for before, let's just get our team names updated, because it's looking like, as we expected, Frankenstein versus Number One, our first semi-final of the day between two fantastic teams, which I know you guys are extremely excited to see. Oh, Humberto. Well, I'm sorry that you've been drawn away by other games. I hope that you'll return again someday.
They always come back, Daedalus. They always come back.
At least I hope so. Yes, Bleach Mohammed, it's time to get Frankenstein. You said we've got several very good teams playing in today's competition. This is going to be one of our first real premium matches of the tournament. Hopefully we shall get to see the Kamuzo Roxas game as well. I will actually ask, since we're getting through the tournament relatively quickly. I'll see if we can get the Roxas Kamuzo semi-final as well. It may not work out just due to timing, but we'll do our best. Yes, Hibana Gaming, we shall get started in just a moment. The last Number One player to arrive, and then these two forces of nature will go head to head for your amusement. Now guys, we'll head ourselves to a very tiny break while we wait for that last player to arrive, and as soon as we get back, we will be getting stuck right in to our first semi-final of the day. You asked for it, and we answered. Number One versus Frankenstein, one of our two fantastic semi-finals of the day, coming at you live. The teams playing across the world from one another, but here with you tonight, myself and Daedalus, to bring you all the action and the excitement. One of the most anticipated matches of the evening, here and now.
And I hope I'm not caster cursing them like I perhaps did with Re-Evolutions and Kamuzo when I said that it would be a close series, but Frankenstein and Number One should definitely be close. Second seeded team versus our third seeded team. These teams do not get closer, and it should be a best of 3 series, or at least a series that go down to the very last kill in every game.
Yeah, so I too want to extricate every single moment from this encounter, because it's going to be one for the history books. Frankenstein and Number One, both teams worthy of lifting the championship here today. We'll see if it's going to be the French Frankenstein squad or Number One from Iraq who will be carrying things forward. Certainly a very even exchange early on.
And one thing I'm looking forward to seeing is Rooftops game number 2. I love Rooftops. It's one of my favorite maps, and I couldn't imagine seeing a better matchup on that map, Frankenstein and Number One.
That's true. We know at least we'll be getting that. Hopefully we're getting the map 3 as well, as we follow Taco, one of the team managers of the #1 squad, with the Shred in hand, a very popular support weapon at the moment. Has been creeping into competition, and honestly, with the way that the community have come up with the rules for the ESL competition, we actually are seeing a decent amount of variety of classes seeing play in competitive.
Yeah, man, and we've also seen the COG-V come up a bit more. Seeing that being used is still very nice and very interesting to me, considering that on the iOS servers, they tend to go for more of a hip fire method instead of aiming down sights, which I would always go for the boss score if you're just hip firing.
No, I mean, it seems like the weapon of choice, certainly getting use in this game along with various other different implements of destruction. Let's check in to see who's racking up those big numbers. So, Rayo, the most kills on the team, but I'd say probably the best performance so far, Insanity and Descends for the side of #1. But look at their numbers, they're not the best ratios, and that's one of the reasons why Frankenstein, thanks to Sasha amongst others, are pulling ahead.
7 kills, that is kind of it. 7 kills between Frankenstein and #1. #1, second seeded team, but Frankenstein have been in the scene for so long. They know how to deal with every situation you throw at them, and so far they are looking like they're able to deal with #1 pretty efficiently as well.
Sasha charging down the stairs into multiple members. Taco will take that bullet for the squad, but there are only so many bullets that you can take before the game is done. Of course, this first of a best of 3, there is a chance for a comeback even within the context of this game, especially if Insanity blows up absolutely everybody with that grenade launcher.
Now, #1, they are making a bit of a comeback here in this game. Not too far from Frankenstein now. Only 1 kill overall counted. This game is living up to all the hype we said, that it would be close, that these two teams are evenly matched, and we might even go to a third game. That's what I'm trying to say.
And the parallel between this and our previous on-stream game is here, because like pretty much everybody else, Frankenstein and to be honest, #1 as well, have both been stymied by by Roxas in recent times. Though Frankenstein tends to come out the best when they go up against the #1 squad, but it's way too close to call as we come to this last part of our first semi-finals.
It's alright, Peter. I'm also stumbling over my words a bit here and there, but someone who's not stumbling, Peter. You see, I'm making a point here. #1 and Frankenstein, both these teams are doing so well and keeping up with each other. 45 to 44. The teams are now pulling well from each other, making sure to not give that last tip over to their opponents. Now 2 kills make that 4 as #1 with that /7H. They find a lot of kills, and they are about to end it right here. #1 winning game 1 against Frankenstein.
Yeah, it looked very, very close for a long time there, but ultimately that end was decisive. Let's take a look at those numbers once more. So as I said, Insanity with a heavy class, very effective in close range. Over for Frankenstein, we did see some very good play out of Fort. Honestly, I have no idea who's going to win game 2, as we said. Going to be a very different approach. We'll test the players' skills to the limits.
But Rooftops will be our second destination here in this best of 3 series. A very interesting map, and I'm looking forward to seeing who will get the rooftops and who will get the lower deck, because usually that's the method that you see on there, that the teams, they just divide the map and allow for a very slow game where kills matter a lot and will dictate the pace of the game.
Alright guys, do get your last entries in on Facebook while you can. Hashtag quarter into the Facebook comments. We'll be drawing that pretty darn soon. But for now, we have a second game between number 1 and Frankenstein to attend to. So please do stay tuned and we'll be back as soon as possible with more hot semi-final action. Welcome back everybody. Our semi-final continues. The much anticipated number 1 of Frankenstein encounter was pretty close up towards the very end, but number 1, they did enough to push themselves into a pretty comfortable game 1 victory.
But it was so close for such a long time between number 1 and Frankenstein. It was just a matter of seconds that determined that game. Now we're on rooftops. It's one of my favorite maps. I'm looking forward to seeing yet another good game that will be decided by mere centimeters.
You said there's a lot of variety on rooftops, a lot of different approaches. The place we're seeing Taco in right now is a little command center. You can squat down there and snipe up through one of the rooftop panels. Taka though, and number 1 and Frankenstein all getting mixed up in these close quarters. The shotgun's proving very effective at sweeping the spaces.
The DBS-4 obviously very good at close quarters. Does have a long reload time, so you need to land those shots, or else you're probably pretty much out of a fight.
Descends has been doing very well for the number 1 squad in the early going, using that heavy. As we said, has the slack. Does get taken out though by a nice run in from the Sasha, who quickly falls down themselves. Frankenstein starting to drift a little bit behind, as his second game is oh so dangerous for them in particular.
Counterfeit check in with the scoreboard. I need to see who are carrying the load for number 1. It is VVOOVV. Yeah, he is doing quite well for himself. It seems like everyone on the side of number 1 are pulling in the work with 3 kills everywhere on that team. Now for Frankenstein, I didn't get to catch it because you just pop up that scoreboard and take it down immediately. So who are doing well on the side of Frankenstein? Peter.
Well, you could say please.
You could just do your work, man.
There's no excuse for rudeness, especially not when you're on the battlefield. Don't you know that's battlefield procedure? Anyway, it's been Sasha for quite some time on the Frankenstein side of things, who's been dominating with that golden imp, looking extremely glamorous. And one must always look their best when executing one's enemies.
That's true. That is indeed true. And now Frankenstein actually coming out a bit ahead here. Not that bad. That is what they need. 3 kills in the lead. But they need to keep that up. They cannot allow number 1 to get back. What you see right here. Still 3 kills in the lead. But number 1 finding 2 kills in a rapid succession.
I've just had a horrifying realization. Yes, Bo.
You have? Yeah.
Who's our favourite combination of players?
Our favorite? I don't know.
Why, it's Crispy Tacos. And look who's on opposite sides of the equation. Crispy in the red, Taco in the blue. Will the twain never meet once more?
Well, no! There's been a breakup, Peter. Maybe. Like, I'm just assuming.
Let's research this more. So Crispy, hailing from Austria, Taco, also hailing from Austria. Perhaps they were brothers or sisters, I don't know. Once upon a time. And now, bitter enemies on this all-important game. The power duo turn into, that camaraderie they once shared now turns to bitter enmity.
What a nice story, Peter. But you know what? I think Crispy is just ready to cut down Taco because of his betrayal.
You take that back. You take that back.
I will not, good gentleman.
Well, much like bullets from the barrel of the gun, words
You are
cannot
not
be
a
withdrawn.
gentleman worthy of me taking that back.
Oh, gosh. Well, there's no need to be personal in a gunfight.
That's only what a gunfight is about.
Noctis doing well. The Frankenstein squad overall have done very well off their snipers in this game, as Noctis takes out Insanity with a nice shot through the skylight. Incredibly close second game. Frankenstein in possession, in control of the rooftops with only 2 access points. It's a risky proposition for number 1. They may end up using what we were talking about before, those secreted positions to shoot up onto the rooftops. Or maybe, just maybe, they'll go for the old classic, fling as many bodies as possible at Frankenstein and hope they don't just kill all of you on the way up the stairs.
Now 40 kill mark has been reached by Frankenstein. They just need 9 more kills to make the comeback and push us to a game number 3. That will be conversion, but obviously Frankenstein will have to win first, and number 1, we know that they can make that final push happen in a matter of seconds.
Frankenstein, though, they're almost as far ahead as number 1 were over them in the first round. Fort doing some fantastic work in close quarters with that imp. The 1 shot, 1 kill, also able to fire it at the floor if as necessary. Very good when you've got the rapid fire movement going on. Number 1 making the rush in. But Frankenstein are in control, and by an even larger margin, they win out game number 2. And just as we all wish for, we shall see a third and decisive encounter between these 2 fantastic teams.
I'm happy to see this kind of fit between Frankenstein and number 1. We've had 2 good games now. We're going to get a third, and we're going to see who will be the victor between number 1 and Frankenstein, and who will move in to the grand final to meet either Gamuso or whoever is going to win that upper quarterfinal, most likely Roxas.
If it goes according to the expectations, certainly will be the case. Facebook giveaway will end at the end of this next encounter between number 1 and Frankenstein. So keep your hashtag quarters coming in on facebook.com/modern combat. We will be back in 7 minutes or less with our next encounter. Quite likely to be a lot less than that, because both these teams are raring to go, raring to tear into each other, and we will have a victor after the break. Welcome
to the semi-final. Woo!
We got
ready?
this.
Are you ready? Counterfeit. That was hype.
I'm excited to be here to witness number one of Frankenstein. Which team will fill that final spot? It's a rarefied air over conversion as the fans of both teams in attendance on the stream and around the world look on. Will Frankenstein continue their comeback from game 2, or will number one show more of that game 1 form and take the place for themselves?
Frankenstein, they're coming out swinging off the gates, finding 5 kills to begin with, but number one making that comeback already, not giving up without a fight. Now, obviously, this is game 3 in a best of 3 series. So whoever wins this match will go to the grand final.
Insanity doing some nice work in the early going. Let's look out for those players who are going to make their marks on history here and now. Revenge doing some nice work with that golden imp. So Fulmic said, certainly going to attract a lot of attention on the battlefield. Crispy and Taco, the two heroes of legend, now at each other's throats. Only one of the Crispy Taco combo can go through. A tearful goodbye in the making, but for who?
But right now, Crispy is looking like one of the best players inside of Frankenstein, having found 3 kills. But oh, number one, that's 3 kills in a rapid succession, putting themselves ahead by 5 kills.
Absolute insanity! Really nice pickup combo play there from number one, who are down to just 4 members, but as a result of that and the momentum that they've stolen for themselves, way ahead of the 5-person Frankenstein squad.
Number one, so far ahead at this point, now having reached that 20 mark. Frankenstein, they just got into the 20s. Number one, they're about to reach the 30s.
Both on rejoining the number 1 squad to bring them up to full strength. Already locking down 2 kills before Sasha puts pay to them for quickly joining them in the dirt.
Oh no. A 10 kill lead is about to be achieved by number 1, Frankenstein, falling a bit flat here in game 3, not being able to keep up with the momentum that number 1 are putting out for this game 3. Obviously Frankenstein, they won game number 1, won game number 2, and looking to win game number 3 as well.
Disappointing performance from Sasha, who we've seen do very well from the Frankenstein squad. Actually, this time round, I think perhaps suffering from some degree of tilt, has dropped a lot of deaths. In fact, almost, you take Sasha's big death streak out of it, and this game's pretty much even between the two. So a lot to be made up for in these last minutes of the game. It doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere close to having the timer run down, because number 1, they are here to finish off business. They've got a date with Destiny in the grand finals today, and they are not gonna miss that train.
3 more kills kind of fit, and then number 1, they will be in the grand final. It was a hype matchup. It was so nice to see Frankenstein and number 1 go up against each other, but number 1, they will come out as the victors of this matchup.
Wow. I mean, even after the Frankenstein comeback in game number 2, I honestly, you kind of expect games to go in sequences. I would have expected Frankenstein to be the victors here, but ultimately, number 1, they won by, I believe, 4 in the first game. Frankenstein won by 6 or 8 in the second, and now this third game is the most decisive of all. Our praise, of course, goes to Taco, amongst other very strong members, Insanity, and VVV, all performing exceptionally well for the number 1 team.
Definitely, and number 1, they're gonna have to keep this up once they go into the grand final. We're still yet to determine who they're gonna be facing as Gamuso. They are yet to start up their semi-final, but we're gonna see shortly, as I believe the quarterfinal between Roxas and Guns for Hire is still happening and should be about to finish soon.
So with that in mind, we're going to draw ourselves our Facebook winner. So Francesco Daresta? Well, you'll be tagged anyway, so hopefully you know who you are when you're pressing you. You are Francesco, you are our Facebook winner. Please post your dog tag and platform. We are going to go on to Mob Crush for our next giveaway. Hashtag semi into mobcrush.com/modern-combat to get another chance at those 300 credits. So Francesco, over on Facebook, please do post your dog tag and platform, and we'll get you noted down for your 300 credits prize. Now guys, stay tuned, and we'll check into what the status is on that other semi-final. Either we'll be bringing you that after the break, or we'll be bringing you another community game. So stay tuned either way, and we'll see you in a few moments' time. Well, we're getting through today's one's pretty quick.
We are?
Yeah, I think so.
We're usually finished around this time.
Are we?
Well,
I think 2.5 hours is about standard.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think we're gonna be finished in. should.
Welcome back, everybody. Gamuso versus Roxas. We said we have two fantastic semi-finals for you guys today, and thanks to Soldier Girl, we shall deliver.
Roxas versus Gamuso, that's also a pretty hype matchup, kind of fit. You know, we had Frankenstein versus number 1, that was the 3rd seeded team against the 2nd seeded team. This time around it's the 4th seeded team and the 1st seeded team, so I must say, our semi-finals of today are pretty balanced.
Yeah, all fantastic stuff. We honestly have very little idea as to who's going to go through. Certainly some very nice grenade throws there from Rai, who pays the price for it in the end. But Roxas, they stay ahead for now. So as we've been kind of alluding...
Ooh, Canada.
Wow.
With the grenades, finding 3 people right there. So Peter, what were we alluding to?
Well, Canada, home and native grenade. Anyway, that out of the way. We've been kind of, we've been dancing around the topic of Roxas all evening long. We noted that most of the teams playing here today have been knocked down, have been knocked out by Roxas in various previous tournaments. This is our first chance to get to see the beast made flesh, and Gamuso are actually doing a pretty solid job against Roxas in the early going.
And you know what, man? For the last few tournaments in February Cup number 1, February Cup number 2, February Cup number 4, sorry, January Cup number 4, Roxas, they have placed first. So the last 3 tournaments, Roxas, they have been the first team. They have been the victors. Now, Gamuso, they're looking to put a spanner in the works, but for now, they are actually also coming out ahead. So Roxas, even though they are the favorites, are having a bit of a hard time against Gamuso.
Yeah, it's an incredibly impressive thing to win 3 tournaments in a row. To take a 4th one here for Roxas would be incredibly meaningful. I mean, we crown monthly champions each month in our monthly finals, which the prizes are quintupled from our normal weekly offerings. But to win 4 weeks in a row really does put a stamp on the preceding months as being exclusively Roxas territory. We see though that territory is not one without heavy cost.
Gamuso, 4 kills in the lead, make that 2 as the Roxas, they find some kills with that DPS right there. Kiri finding 2. Now, Peter, I think this game could potentially go down to the very last kill because, damn, Gamuso, they're hanging on for dear life. Even though they had a lead for a long time, Roxas, they are just having positive traits all over the place and are starting to now develop their own surplus.
Kerry performing out of their mind as they have on previous occasions. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it's Kerry, definitely the standout player right now as we close in on the halfway mark. Though both the teams' kills are almost at the halfway as well. So we'll get to see. Given the game has just very suddenly come to a halt, I think both these teams are recalibrating themselves for the second half of this first match. They know how important this series is, and they're going to want to make sure they come in with the perfect strategy to put this game down as fast as they can.
But now Roxas, they are slowing things down. They know that Gamuso are able to stay toe-to-toe with them. So they're not trying to force the fight to Gamuso. Time is also running out. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. And Roxas, they have a 1 kill lead. They do have a bit of a deficit. It's not big, but it is enough to force Gamuso to come to them.
3 minutes left to play. So very close. Let's find the players to watch. So JRD over on the Gamuso side of things, doing very well with that BSW. For Roxas, of course, it's still going to be Kiri, who got taken down in that last exchange, and while the kills stay equal, Kiri's going to now get back into position before Gamuso come a calling.
Running around with that DBS again. Once he gets up close and personal, it's going to be a deadly weapon, but if he cannot land those shots, he is sure to fall on his own. Like you can see right there, even though it was a sniper rifle from MIT, landing the first shot was crucial, and he pulled down Kiri.
Aruburu also performing extremely well for the side of Roxas with that shred. Is actually rocking the heavy classes, just picked that weapon up from the floor, and we will be deploying it to great effect. Let's take out some of the other numbers as well. So yeah, we've got Kiri and Aruburu for the side of Roxas. For Gamuzo, I think overall as a team they performed a little bit more solidly. MIT, JRD both picking up a whole bunch of kills, and Canada, of course, we remember from much earlier on, absolutely pinpoint with those grenades. Has sadly for Gamuzo switched across to the heavy, but they'll have to deliver their explosions from the slack instead.
Now, all of these players who you have just highlighted, Peter, they have 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go to see if they can carry their team over that victory line. 2 kills is what Roxas they have in the lead. Here we go, Canada looking for the shots with that. DBS will be able to find them, but will be traded immediately. And Roxas they still have 2 kills in the lead with 1 minute left to go.
Aruburu still in possession of that shred they took from earlier on. 9-2, incredible performance so far. Roxas though, even with those 2 exceptionally performing members, they are only barely ahead. Gamuzo, they're going to want to try and chip away at that lead. But Roxas, they keep their pace for the moment. MIT comes charging up the stairs, will get put down by Kiri straight away. Roxas seem to have the handle on this first game, but these last 30 seconds could change everything.
Roxas, they don't need to take the fight to Gamuzo. They can wait for Gamuzo to come to them, and that's what's happening right here. Gamuzo are forced to go against Roxas, and it's not working out because Roxas are ready for them. They are making traps, so they're laying traps, and they are cutting down Gamuzo, who are now behind by 5 kills, and will lose this first game in this semi-final.
You have the right of it, dealers. Roxas were ready for Gamuzo's last second desperation moves. They set the trap, Gamuzo dived headlong into it, and secured Roxas their first semi-final victory.
Now we're going to rooftops for game 2 counterfeit to see if Gamuzo can make that comeback happen, or if Roxas they will move into the grand final unscraped.
Well, a difference of just 6 kills between the two, but that's 1 is all it takes. Kiri and Aruburu definitely going to be our players to watch in the next game, along with JRD from the Gamuzo side. Has Gamuzo's journey come to a screeching halt, or will they come back in game 2? Find out, guys, in just a few minutes' time. Mob Crush giveaway will run until this semi-final is done, so get your entries in there while you can, and we shall return in just a few minutes' time. Welcome back, everybody. Our second semi-final continues. The rooftops, our destination. Roxas now with one game in hand against Gamuzo. Stand perched on the precipice of a finals place. But can they take the final step to make it there? Certainly this opening against Gamuzo makes it look like they are going to continue to their long-standing trend of occupying not just the finals but the winners podium. Gamuzo need to turn this game around in a hurry or all the hope is going to be lost. The last game was pretty close, but this one seeming anything but. Right, with the pirate icon is a dead eye with that imp right in the middle of the Gamuzo squad. That speaks to an unerring level of confidence from the Roxas side of the equation. They do not care what Gamuzo have got to bring to the board. They are just destroying. Commiserations to the Gamuzo fans, because unless something dramatically changes in the next few minutes, Gamuzo, they almost seem done in the first minute and a half of the second semi-final game. Dumbo does come back with a couple of kills to get Gamuzo at least some breath of air, but they are drowning before our very eyes. And it does not seem like a lifeline is coming. Canada does get to Gamuzo. If they could somehow pull off a comeback here, this would be the stuff of legend. But, as we will come to see, legends have a bad habit of not being reality. Gamuzo, 17 kills behind. Man, even with 2 minutes done of this, already halfway completed by Roxas, they desperately want to get into that finals. They are not showing even an ounce of mercy.
And now if Roxas they win this second game kind of fit, we will have the second seeded team and the first seeded team in the grand final. So it would be so close, so evenly matched, one would imagine. But the way Roxas are playing today, they are just looking miles ahead of every team that we've seen in today's competition.
Yeah, well, Dealers, I mean, there's a reason why this team has stayed on top for 3 weeks running, just as you said before. They are, it feels like Roxas have really come alive in this second semi-final game. I think maybe acknowledging that if they don't play with their A game, Gamuzo, they could take a game off them, and even they could take the series. But Roxas, they put the boot home. Let's see what Gamuzo do. They're suddenly trying to come back, but what a distance to make up. 16 kills behind still.
We thought Gamuzo would be able to put up a fight against Roxas. We thought wrong. Roxas, they are just so far ahead of everyone. MIT, even though he's putting in the work, even though he's finding a lot of kills, simply cannot compete with the entirety of the Roxas squad.
JRD doing what they can in close quarters, but will fall down. While we've seen those snipers having success gut-shotting people, there's just so many more bullets, so much more spray coming out of a shotgun, especially in close range, which, you do that enough times and everything falls to pieces for Gamuzo, as we are seeing. Gamuzo just scraping to the halfway mark, while Roxas sail over the finish line. They have been putting on an incredible performance, and they have all the momentum in the world going into the finals.
One more kill. Roxas, they complete it. They kill MIT. And they will be moving into the grand final to face up against number one. They're going to be, well, pretty much warmed up and ready to win here against our number one, so second seeded team in number one.
So guys, we're going to keep our Mob Crush giveaway going for just a few moments more. and while we wait for the finals to begin, we will of course give you guys a chance to play on stream. Now, there's every possibility that we may end up not being able to run this one because Soldier Girl's been running things pretty quickly through the tournament, so it's possible we'll just have our finals in a few moments more. If that's the case, then we'll just have to go straight onto there. But for now, let's pop onto overtime with the passkey ESL123, and all of you fine folks watching from home can show us what you're made of. D-list, man, that was a pretty clear statement of intent from Roxas as to what's to come.
It definitely was, and Roxas, now moving in to the grand final, will be facing Frankenstein instead because of an admin decision. So instead of number 1, Frankenstein will be passing on to the grand final.
Oh, whoa. That does change things somewhat. A second chance at glory. We'll see. Will we get Roxas from game number 1, or will it be game number 2? For now though, guys, please do get your entries in on Mob Crush. And please do come join our pre-game lobby. As I said, there's every chance we won't be able to play this one out in its entirety, but the quicker you guys get in here, the quicker we can get started. Voldelian, BSW. Oh, VML Delian, I do apologise. Welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can find you some friendos. Ooh, I see Soldier Girl typing already. Alright. In that case, I'm sorry about this, guys. We're going to have to pop to a very micro break because our finals, as we thought might be the case, is actually already ready to go. So we shall waste no time whatsoever in jumping in to that first of a potential 5 lobbies.
I'm looking forward to the grand final. Frankenstein versus Roxas, even though it's not number 1 versus Roxas, I still think that Frankenstein are a worthy opponent and that perhaps they will be able to put up a fight against Roxas. But the way Roxas, they just demolished Yamuso in their semi-final, I'm having a hard time believing anyone can put a dent into Roxas.
I think it's going to be an incredible battle for the ages, but yes, Roxas certainly seem like a team with enough ferocity to claim an entire month for themselves. I'll be fascinated to see what comes of the monthly finals for this month down the line. For any of you guys who haven't caught up as of yet on that particular front, do check out the ESL Discord because we're going to be having a lot of monthly finals over the coming weeks in order to try and catch up. So you'll notice that we've been having finals a couple months or even a couple months after the event itself. So we'd have, say, November finals in January, for instance. Citru's going to be doing a lot of work over the coming weeks to get us up to speed by having multiple finals over the course of a month. So we'll keep you guys posted, but there should be a lot of fantastic MC5 action over the next month.
No, nothing. It's just, I think we might have a situation in the admin chat, but obviously that's something that we're gonna talk about off stream. So guys, I think we're gonna take a small break before we get into a grand final.
Alright guys, we will be right back. Volveremos enseguida. grand finals are here. So, with a catch at the just before it started, our finals have been reverted to the listed Roxas versus number one. The confusion has been alleviated. All doubts have been answered. All questions now will be resolved by the method that is the most appropriate. That being a grenade to the face.
And then for now, number one coming out swinging to begin with. Coming out showing that they can definitely keep up with Roxas, but Roxas, they fight back immediately.
Very even in the early going, brutal close quarters fighting with individual members of both squads, picking off the stragglers, the survivors of the last encounter. Charge in from number one. Roxas tried to set up a firing line. They're going to have to adapt on the fly as number one are more than up for bringing the fight to Roxas wherever they may try to make a stand.
Swingingly, number one are trying to keep up with Roxas, coming out from their side of the ring with a hit to begin with, but Roxas, they have now pulled themselves back from that hit and are now just making sure to hit number one time and time again.
The big question here, of course, Steelers, will we see Roxas complete an entire month of competition undefeated? It's quite a... I don't honestly know if there's any teams that have managed to pull off a similar feat, at least in recent memory. But it would be a huge feather in Roxas's cap to be able to say that they were one of the few to manage it.
It would be quite a feat if they could, and the way that Roxas they have played tonight has just been so dominant compared to how number one they looked in their semi-final. It's just been extremely good, beyond explanation. And Roxas as a team, they are just so closer. They are just they have so much more synergy than everyone else in the iOS community. And I think it's going to be very hard for number one to really come in and take down Roxas. But if anyone can do it, then it is the second seeded team.
Algerian in the YouTube chat makes a good point. We're not actually seeing ERGs being used in today's competition. I don't believe that they're banned out. I think the players have literally just chosen to adapt to the Assault as the most effective class, along with a smattering of recons and snipers as well. So there you go, guys. Sometimes the meta fixes itself. Advantage for Roxas right now. Let's find who's rocking in those numbers. It's going to be Kiri. Death made manifest. It walks these great plains with the name Kiri, with the BSW, and with an unerring aim.
But remember, guys, even though Roxas are 5 kills ahead, it all can swing in a matter of seconds back into number one's favor. Also, it is a best of 5 series, so it's not going to be over by 1 game or 3 games, unless Roxas or number one they win 3 games in a row. Next up will be Scramble.
We're in for the long haul. This is what the teams have been playing for the whole way through the tournament. Multiple rounds of competition. Roxas defending their crown. It's certainly starting to feel like their crown after so many weeks on top. And with this first game looking like it's going to swing pretty conclusively in their favor, Roxas are once more in a position to punish the opposing team. That lead being used as a bludgeon to keep number one down.
They are so far behind, and Roxas so close they can taste that first victory. The first step to securing the crown once again.
Explosions come raining in from every side. I'm just checking on the status of the ERG to see if that has been mounted, since Darren is saying in the chat that it is, but either way around it, both teams are still competing on the even playing field, but that even playing field seems to have tipped over quite dramatically in Roxas' favour.
Roxas, as you said, counterfeit, it tips over in their favor and they pick up game number one. So now Scramble will be the next destination. That's going to be the battleground in which number one will try to carry this game back and make it a 1-1 series. They don't want to fall 2 games behind against Roxas, because then I think that psychological pressure is going to be too much for them to handle.
Well, when you say carry, D-List, I say Kiri. 19-4. The absolute heart of Roxas in that last game. They started out the finals extremely strongly, but can they finish the job? Mob Crush giveaway will end at the end of this next upcoming game. So get your last entries in while you can. We'll be opening up the YouTube giveaway as soon as possible. So stay tuned for details, and we'll be back soon. It's time for Game 2 of our Grand Finals. Roxas versus number 1. Scramble our destination. Hope begins to fade for number 1. But perhaps we'll find something else in the shadows of Scramble.
And what would that be, Peter?
It would be the information that Dara has provided. So yes, we have had it confirmed. Probably we missed the boat on that one. That the ERG has been banned for this competition. I'm waiting confirmation on whether or not that ban is a permanent ban going forwards. But we'll have to probably confirm that after the stream is done. So for now, we're seeing a pretty good mix of approaches. Roxas still, of course, are in control, but let's see what they've got. So they've got Sniper, and I think probably Assault's very much flavour of the month right now. I don't know if that will change, but 2 Snipers, 3 Assaults, versus I suspect a probably relatively similar lineup from number 1 as well.
But if there's one thing you're right about, Counterfeit, then it is that hope is fading for number 1. They don't want to fall behind this game. They don't want to lose this game. Because if they find themselves at a 2-0 deficit in the best of 5 grand final against Roxas, a team who have been dominant for nearly a month now, then I definitely think that that would be a psychological toll that will scar them for the third game.
This is something to bear in mind. You know, we're spectators to this happening that's going on right now, this grand finals. For the players, they are right in the midst of it. Of course, we do our best to bring you guys along with us to experience this as close as we can. But for the players, this is raw. This is every moment that's going forward. When one step out of place could spell doom for your team, it doesn't get much more intense.
It really doesn't. And remember, guys, we are fighting for that $100 prize pool, but also go for points so that you can get the best possible seeding in the monthly final. Now, for now, Roxas with a 3-kill lead are doing fairly well in this game, on the road to winning $100.
It would be a massive coup for number 1 to take down Roxas in this grand final. Yeah, given the Roxas, you mentioned the go for points. Roxas guaranteed their place in the monthly finals for this preceding month. But having that victory before that even happens, a great way to raise the morale of the team to show that Roxas are not infallible. But that may not be on the cards for number 1. They're starting to fall behind. Have to be very careful here because so quickly Roxas can take over a game. And
something that would also be good for Roxas going into our monthly final would be to have won 4 tournaments in a row. That would be a thing that would make them legendary. That would make every team in that monthly final just be afraid of them, be scared about having to face up against Roxas, a team who are so good.
You're right, D-List. This is a chance for Roxas to cement their legacy as the team to stand up and take notice of. When your team, we look at a Roxas team here, you can potentially establish themselves as the gold standard for MC5 teams. They're going to be the teams that other teams will be watching their tapes, trying to pick up their strategies, trying to adapt and overcome. It's a massive target to have on your back, but it's also a massive crown.
It definitely is, and it's a lot of pride on the line for Roxas as well, having won 3 tournaments in a row. They certainly want to have that pride of saying, we won 4 in a row, we won a month where we had a month where we just won every single weekly competition. That's certainly something that they can be proud of. And with them now winning game 2, it's looking like they will win at their 4th one in a dominating fashion, not even needing more than 3 games.
But you're going to need to come up with a name for the era of Roxas, because that's what we're seeing developing here, with now a 12-kill lead over the 9 they had the previous game. They're actually pushing number 1 down even further than before. Looking better and better as each game goes forward. Daedalus, what's our third map, which could potentially spell the end of our grand finals here today?
Our potential last map of the day is going to be Conversion. That is going to be the final resting place, possibly, for number 1.
Alright guys, so we are going to start up our last giveaway of the day. So that's on YouTube, #finals if you want to join in. We will also, of course, be drawing our Mob Crush giveaway winner. So Kieran is our Mob Crush winner. Please post your dog tag and platform. Congratulations, Kieran. So, again, a YouTube giveaway for our final one of the day. #finals. Remember, guys, don't enter it multiple times or you will render yourself ineligible to win. A single entry is all you need. Nightbot is running things all kinds of smoothly behind the scenes. We've got at least one more game on the cards, so let's keep things moving. We will be back as soon as we can with our third game of the Grand Finals. Gentle viewers from around the planet, it's time for game 3 of our grand finals. Number 1 and Roxas. Number 1 yet to get a game for themselves. Daedalus, will they finish these finals without a single win?
It's definitely looking like that. They have not been able to keep up with Roxas. They did so in game 1. In game 2 it looked dire for them. They had a lead for just a small period of time. But Roxas, they immediately just fought back. They immediately cut them down and said, no, you're not gonna get a lead. We're gonna take this victory, thank you.
Roxas come out swinging in the second round. The absolute emperors of Modern Combat 5 right now, at least on the blue platform for iOS, where Roxas walks, the earth shakes. Number one, quivering in their boots. They need to change something or Roxas are just going to walk all over them.
For now, Roxas are walking over number one, as you said, Counterfeit. And number one, not looking like they are changing anything in here in Game 3, simply being outmatched against their opponents.
Rusei, Kiri, Rai, Zero as well, all putting on star performances in this game, which is giving every indication to living up to our expectations and being our last official ESL game of the day. Number one, they need to pull off a miracle. They are trying their darndest, but oh boy, it is pretty tough to watch.
It definitely is, and you don't want to see a grand final be lost in a 3-0 matter. It's always feels bad for the opponent, but Roxas being so dominant. We are in the era of the Roxas squad, and they're looking to just take this grand final without even dropping a drop of sweat.
Yes, the age of Roxas, I think, is upon us. Hashtag finals, guys. On YouTube, we will be doing the YouTube giveaway for only a short amount of time because, sadly, for all you fine folks watching here tonight and for ourselves, it seems like we will only get 3 of the 5 games unless number one somehow start trading back. Rayo does get a couple, but this fighting's so brutal. I can't see it coming out anyway, but at best an even trade for number one over and over again.
Number one, they're trying to find those kills, but Roxas, they always just trade better. They always say 2 for 1, 1 for 3, 2 for 3. As long as we keep getting those kills in the lead, we're gonna continue to be the best team in this matchup, and that's exactly what is happening. They just continue to develop this kill lead that they have. Ryusei finding 10 kills is that big leader for Roxas.
Doing fantastic work. Number one, it seems like victory is beyond their grasp, but they can at least go down fighting. Roxas nearly done with them, but number one, they got nothing to lose now. They may as well just throw everything at Roxas and at least make sure that when Roxas claim the crown, they'll have the twinge to remember number one by.
One more kill, and Roxas, they will have won their 4th tournament in a row. Congratulations to Roxas. Number one, they fall here in this grand final in a 3-0 manner, but Roxas, what a dominating performance.
Incredible. So
that was so dominant from Roxas. Incredible to see how they're able to win this grand final and still look like a team with much more to give.
Our MVP from the last round's got to go across to Rusei there, 12-6, and with one of the highest scores in the game as well. Incredibly impressive stuff. The age of Roxas is upon us, and honestly, I don't know who could possibly tear their crown from them.
No, I agree with you, Peter. It seems like no team in today's matchup could even get close to Roxas. Certainly not number one. And number one, they were, after all, the 2nd seeded team.
Alright guys, so with that, we are going to be drawing our our YouTube giveaway winner. So do remember, you can still enter in while we're waiting for people to respond, because there's every chance we may have to draw multiple times. Hashtag finals. Notice some of you guys are entering with hashtag finals, so I've put you in manually, but if you want to get picked up by Nightbot, it's hashtag finals with a S rather than a Z, as I might have suggested. So let's roll them. MX Hero Batnet. MX Hero Batnet. If you could drop your dog tag and your platform into the chat, then we'll get you all kinds of sorted out. For now though, we're gonna run ourselves one more battle royale. to kill a little bit of time and wait for the response. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll close things out in style.
Well, that obviously depends on how far you can get, Peter, because sometimes you say we're going to close things out in style and then you lose
don't
immediately. You might also want to change the overlay of the stream right now because we're just looking at still a Roxas and #1 score. There we go. Good
Hey
job.
man, I'm secretly a Roxas player. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm actually on both Roxas and #1, so that overlay entirely appropriate.
Well, it would surprise me, but sure, why not?
Well, let's see. So, let's remind myself. So we are awaiting a response from MXHero.net, who I think is a little overwhelmed with emotion that they won. So we need your dog tag and your platform. You don't need to keep typing in #finals. You already won. And we'll be hoping to get those within the next few minutes. Let's see. I'll be keeping an eye out for them. I think, well, so it's very likely we will not be redrawing at that particular giveaway because our giveaway winner is here. Thank you, MXHero.net. Got your dog tag and your platform. Just to run into a crate for a while while I note down your details. Let's see. MXHero.net. That is a very unusual name, MXHero.net. What's that about? Any ideas, Deedless?
I do not.
Felicidades MX. Hero Gaming. I'm not sure what that one means either. I'm sorry, I think we're both probably missing a cultural reference of some kind. Oh boy. Well, I guess it is like 3 o'clock in the morning in the UK, so I imagine all of our European...
It's 4:15 in Denmark. Imagine if you were further to the east.
Yes, we're probably going to be at a bit of an awkward time. There we go. I think we've got enough people to get started with, so I imagine we'll have a smaller battle royale than we perhaps might be used to, but hey. Gives us the way to close out today, so we've got all of our giveaway winners, I believe. So, hey guys, thank you so much for dropping by. If you haven't already, please do follow Modern Combat on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Mob Crush, and Twitter. They love that stuff, and it means we can keep bringing you streams. If you keep supporting Modern Combat on all the social platforms, let them know that one of the reasons Gameloft run these streams is to try and get you guys engaged with MC5 as much as possible. So please do show them that it's working by posting about the stream and spreading the good word. Bring a friend.
Okay, Peter, where are we dropping?
We are dropping in a probably very not smart place. Oop, hello, there we go. We're following this person. Hello.
Knife him, knife him, knife him. There we go. First kill. Nice.
Oh,
take
nice.
his gun, take his gun, take his fast grip.
Oh, there you go. That started out pretty well.
Good job. Remember,
Good,
you run.
good.
Remember, you run faster if you pull out your pistol. Oh,
Yeah,
that's an imp. Guaranteed victory.
The fabled one.
Pull out your pistol.
I'm not going for running speed when I'm inside.
Well, you are.
Oh, hello, I hear the sounds of footsteps. Is it you? Are you running around on the desk?
I am
Yeah.
indeed.
I knew it. Let's see if we can upgrade our gun. Oh, actually, wait, we've got a friend nearby. Let's see if we can go and make their acquaintance.
Well, why by, or how, by killing them?
Oh, yes.
Nice. Well, that's also how we make friends in Denmark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How alarming.
Full joke, of course, guys. I don't kill people. Except for an MC5.
Only my murder weapon does. Oh, hello. I think we've got some...
You just found a bosk, Peter. There was a bosk in there.
Bosks are for nerds.
You're a nerd.
That's right, schmucks. I'm here, and I decide who lives or dies.
Peter, there's someone to the right of you. Left now. There we go.
Hello. Hello, cheeky.
Remember to use your imp.
Yeah.
There's another guy.
This will hopefully flush him out.
Have you considered looking if he's running? Or to see if he's running away?
Well, I thought I'd give him a chance to run out of cover before I started running out of cover myself. Alright, speed boost activate! And hopefully, if we serpentine, they won't shoot us in the butt too much. It does kill a little bit of time, but I think it's a good investment. Ooh, there's another punter over there. I think it's time to bring out El Imp. Yell if you spot him. I think they're behind this building, actually.
Kill them. Kill them all. Shoot them in the face. Have you considered using your imp? It's a one-shot, one-kill.
Man, I knew that. I knew my movement was terrible there because I didn't adjust my movement at all. I just kept moving sideways, and that's of course the way in which you get killed, by having your movement be predictable. Well, there you go, guys. We got to number 16. I think we did all right. We killed a few people. So, Daedalus, thank you for coming along today. You can of course find Daedalus at DaedalusCasts on Twitter, on Twitch, on probably everywhere you would care to look, even places like Medium.
Yeah. Or Instagram.
True stuff, true stuff. Of course, you can find me at Counterfeit Cast in all the same kind of places. Thank you again to Sergio for doing all of the good admin stuff for today. We will be back in, let's see, 12 hours and around 40 minutes from now with our last iOS competition of the day. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will be back tomorrow, as I said. But for now, have a wonderful evening wherever you are on the planet.